Let's pay homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, to Master Sakya Dzogchen, to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa, and homage to Master Dubden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of Homa today, Amoghapasa Kuan Yin. Simu, all Dharma masters, Dharma lecturers, Dharma teachers, Dharma educators, Dharma assistants, temple directors, disciples present here and over the internet, and our special guest today, accountant to the Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa and her husband Larry, attorney to the Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Jennifer Zhou, and a member of the Buddha Schools Professor Group, EE Professor of National Tsong Khang University, Professor Wang. Producers for the Geni Tenzang Shinten, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi, and Dr. Ryan Zong. Good afternoon, how do you do? Let me share good news. She told me that her flight is around 4. And then after passing through immigration and custom, maybe around 5. She and Dharma Sister Judy and Dharma Sister Xu Ruiling, 3 of them from Seattle. And another news, what date? March 1st, at the Emperor Temple in Taoyuan, Taiwan, there would be inviting the wealth deity home. And Golden Mother has a Vajra emanation. Most people don't know. But the Futo Vajra is her emanation. And at the Emperor Lizang Temple, I would transmit the subjugation practices for this Futo Vajra, Vajra emanation of Golden Mother. Because all the Vajra Dharma practices typically are about the wrathful deities that are manifestations of the serene deities. So the 5 Dhyani Buddhas would manifest as the 5 Herukas, and from the 8 great Bodhisattvas manifested the 8 Vidya Rajas, the wisdom kings. So the stubborn and tough sentient beings need to be transformed or subdued by wrathful deities, by forceful, fierce deities. That's why the wrathful deities exist. So wrathful deities, or the Herukas and Vidya Rajas, are actually Buddhas and Bodhisattvas manifestations. So Golden Mother has the kind form and the wrathful form. Anyone devoted to Golden Mother would realize that Golden Mother is very compassionate and kind, but she also has a wrathful manifestation in order to subdue the tough and stubborn beings. And her name in this manifestation is called the Huto Vajra. And on that day, I would transmit the Dharma practices and information about this wrathful manifestation of Golden Mother. This only exists at True Buddha School. And how did I know about it? So, the green dragon in the east, the white tiger in the west, and then Dzogchen, the sparrow, and Dzogchen. So the white tiger is that's the tiger, the tiger head Vajra. That's manifestation of Golden Mother. And in Taiwan, there is a temple called the Ci Hui Tang that enshrined Golden Mother. And we all know that Golden Mother is very kind and compassionate, but when she is wrathful, she is the most fierce. So toward her devotees, sometimes she would be truly fierce and wrathful, furious. So when she's wrathful, she is truly wrathful. So this is the subjugation of Dharma practices that will be transmitted at the Emperor Temple in Taoyuan, Taiwan. Hutu. I don't know why it is called Hutu. 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 So today we have extremely many primary supplicants for the Homa. So primary supplicants for Amugapasa Kuan Yin is also very many, because she has a Vajra epithet called the equally guiding the Bardo spirits, the Vajra who equally send the Bardo spirits to the Pure Land. And as I said before, she would guide whether it's good or bad, evil or kind spirits, all the same to the Western Paradise. And because in her name is Amuga, which is mean non-empty lasso, Guan Yin, So that's why there are many people wanting to become the primary supplicants. Because like of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, from Amoga Siddhi Buddha, which is the non-empty attainment Buddha, transformed to become 7 Guan Yin, and one of them is Amoghapasa. So 3 faces, each with 3 eyes, 4 arms, and her right hand is holding a chanting bead, mala, and the second right hand is holding a nectar vase. Her left hand is holding a lotus blossom, and another left hand is holding a lasso or noose. That's why she is called Amoghapasa, meaning non-empty lasso Guan Yin. So the rebellious type, the stubborn kind, if you ask them to go to the Western paradise, they don't want to. They want to go to the East instead. So you ask to guide them to the South, and instead they go to the North. You guide them to heaven, and instead they want to go to hell. So there are some beings that are like that. But for Amoghapasa, because the lasso is non-empty, she would use the lasso to tie, to bound you and send you to wherever you're supposed to go. So whatever you pray for, she would use the lasso to tie it and then get it for you. So you would always return non-empty. The mudra, you start with the inward fist and lift up the pinkies, the ring fingers, and then the middle fingers. So that's the mudra. And the mantra.
Om Amoga Vijaya Ban Hom Ban Cha. Om Amoga Vijaya Hom Ban Cha. 这个咒语是这样子念的。
That's the mantra.
它的形象。
And her look. Many people know. Each face has 3 eyes, with 3 faces, 4 arms, and one of them is holding a noose, a lasso. That's why she's called the non-empty lasso Guan Yin. And then of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, there's a Buddha that's called Amoga Siddhi Buddha, or the non-empty attainment, non-empty Siddhi Buddha. And Amoghapasa's Vajra name is the Vajra who delivers sentient beings equally to the Western paradise. So she used the lasso to catch on your wishes and let all your wishes be fulfilled. So that, and she could also use the lasso to send spirits to the Western paradise. Some people say that her Dharma power is extremely high, is first and foremost among the 7 Guan Yin. And Chundi, Buddha Mother's Dharma power is also very high, so their Dharma power are about the same. That's the introduction for Amoghapasa Guan Yin. Now we will continue to talk about the Great Perfection Dharma.
莲华生大师在稳高尊者处受戒。
Guru Padmasambhava at the Gunkao's place made the vow, received the precepts, and the goddess who holds the earth presented the precept robe, and all Buddhas appeared to bless and praise him. And Mahakashyapa shaved his head, shaved Guru Padmasambhava's head. So he received the precepts at the Gunkao place. And from what I know, Guru Padmasambhava was born, came into life after Sakyamuni Buddha's parinirvana. And he was ordained by Ananda. And at this time, there was a Dakini that holds the earth, presented the precept robe. So today, like the Lama outfit would be, the precept robe would be like the Lama outfit. And many Buddhas appeared in the sky and praising him. And Mahakashyapa shaved Guru Padmasambhava's hair. So this man, Guru Padmasambhava, was ordained to become a monk. This was in the past. After Sakyamuni Buddha's parinirvana, Guru Padmasambhava appeared. And in his spiritual cultivation, Guru Padmasambhava served many gurus. So he learned from many gurus. He collected all kinds of skillful means as a means, and also traveled in hell and the three lower realms. So in one night, I traveled to all the places. And at that time, I met many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and I performed my Anjali. I joined my palms, and they said, "Oh, you're back." But I don't recognize any of them. At that time, I wasn't a Buddhist, so I didn't recognize them. And they said, "Oh, you're back." I thought, what? Did I go? Did I leave this place and come back? I didn't know. And then I was brought to see a deity that's very mystical and secret. All you could see was just light, very bright, brilliant light. Like in the puppet show, you would say that the great, radiant, huge light, and with lots of auspiciousness, very bright, white, brilliant light. And Golden Mother told me that this is the lotus youth, the Padma Kumara. Because I had this seeing, I had this vision and faith. I had the pure faith, complete faith in this. because I heard it with my own ears, that you are Padmakumara. And then my eyes saw it. I saw it with my own eyes, Padmakumara, the lotus youth. So I heard and I saw, so I knew that this is my eternal faith. That I would never ever leave my spiritual cultivation. But I was made to hear and to see, and I went there. How could I not believe? How could I not have the faith? So the Buddha often said, Sakyamuni Buddha often said, you need to have pure faith in order to have pure attainments. So your faith has to be completely pure, with no doubts and skepticism whatsoever, in order to have a pure attainment. So any true Buddha school disciple who has deep faith to what Grandmaster Lu is saying now about what I heard with my ears and what I saw with my eyes should generate pure faith. Only then you would be able to have attainments. All I said was authentic. It was not fabricated. It was not lies. It was not cheating or trick. So if you truly believe that Grandmaster saw the Padmakumara and heard about Padmakumara, then you need to generate the pure faith. This is very important. Without the pure faith, you will not be able to receive the pure blessings, and you will not be able to have attainments in your spiritual cultivation. If you heard other people say, oh, I heard there is a Grandmaster Sangyen Lu and you're close to him. Do you know if he has any attainment? And the person replied, I don't know, so and so, just so-so. So he's just a human being with 2 arms, 2 hands and 2 legs, eyebrows, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, 2 ears. He looked the same as us, and he's even shorter than I am. He doesn't look anything different. He looks very ordinary. Talking about being short, thanks to the disciple who gave me sandals that are specially made to be a little bit thick. So I look a little bit taller these days wearing those. So thank you to that person. So I'm short and I look ordinary. And his speech and his Dharma teaching. I thought I made a mistake again pronouncing it. So in my Dharma teaching, it's sometimes topsy-turvy, it's a mess, and make mistakes, have to be corrected. So the people who are close, the disciples who are close would say something like that. But the attainments are actually inside, is something that you may not be able to see, that you don't necessarily see. And Grandmaster often transform and manifest into the dreams of the disciples. So if you have had dreams of Grandmaster, please raise your hand. Wow, so many. Almost everybody. So there are transformations. There are some who saw with his 2 eyes the Dharma, my Dharmakaya, the Dharma body. And he saw it for over 10 minutes. It's not just a flash, a second. Was it Grandmaster? You're not sure. But Gao Minglu, Dharma brother Gao, saw it for over 10 years. And the body was 2 floors high. He was on the 2nd floor. And he saw me standing on the ground as tall as 2 floors. And I was carrying the bag, the monk's bag. And he saw it for over 10 minutes. If you saw it for a few seconds, well, maybe it's just a hallucination of your eyes or something. It's just a flash. Was it a fly or Grandmaster or what? No. But if you see it for over 10 minutes, that exists. So in Guru Padmasambhava's spiritual cultivation, he encountered many gurus. So although I had personal experience in hearing and seeing the deity, I had a lot of human gurus. In Mahayana Buddhism, the first guru would be the Yingshun, the Master Yingshun. And he was in Taichung, Mingsen Road, for Jiaoling Se. I paid homage to the Guru Yingshun. And the second one I took refuge in at the Sun and Moon Lake, Xuanzhuang Temple. And I took refuge in the Venerable Monk Tao An. And the third one was a temple in Salu, near Taichung. From the Zhonggang Road all the way down, you would reach Salu. There was a temple, and I took refuge in Le Guo, Venerable Monk Le Guo. So these 3 gurus in Mahayana Buddhism. And one of the Venerable Monk Le Guo disciple, Le Guo's disciple, is my guru. And that was Master Dubten Tarji. Master Dubten Tarji also took refuge in the old Venerable Le Guo. They all had the temple left. Master Yingshun is Huayu Jingse. It's his last residence. And for Tao An, at that time he was the director of the Chinese Buddhist Association. And the Venerable Monk Le Guo had a temple in Taiwan. But he is a Hong Kong old monk, and he permanently resided in Hong Kong. And in Taiwan, in Puli, there was called a Pukang temple near the Zhongtai temple. So the Pukang temple is a temple built by the old venerable monk Le Guo. And I also took refuge in many tantric gurus and many more gurus. I had about over 20 gurus, 27. I took refuge in 27 gurus. As a skillful means to deliver sentient beings. So everything is just for conveniences. Let's share a joke. The wife asked the husband, and do you think I'm ugly? And the wife expected the husband to say, oh, you're not ugly at all. But instead, the husband said, no, I don't mind. So, is she beautiful or ugly? So the wife was very sad. So you need to be careful when you talk. Sometimes when you miss a few words, you can offend people. You need to speak in a complete word. If someone helps you, you should say thank you. If you did something wrong, you should say sorry. And as a Buddhist, if you made a mistake, then we should repent. You have to repent. Only this way you can be purified again. That it's like you are re-purified. So to give you back the pure body. So in order to conveniently deliver sentient beings as skillful means, Padmasambhava took refuge in many gurus. Someone wanted to combine two cabinets, and he tried very hard, but he couldn't. Finally, he threw them out. And after a while, the female maid built it, and he was very curious and asked her, how did you do it? And the maid said, well, I'm illiterate, I don't know how to read, so I just use my brain. So the master tried to read, but couldn't. So something that we are able to, but some others may not. So, or vice versa. If you talk about computers and iPad and iPhone to Grandmaster, I don't know anything about them. I don't use any energy or brain on computers, iPad or iPhone. So I tell everybody, I have no computers, I have no iPads, no cell phones. The cell phone that I have is only to make phone calls. And then I would turn it off. Nobody could call in. I only call. And a lot of people ask, so who do you call? If I tell you, then I have no secret anymore. That's secret. That's my secret. If people give me intelligent cell phone, I don't know how to use them, because all I can do is just to make a phone call and punch in the numbers and then call and then end. That's it. And then turn off the cell phone. That's all. Like some people would play with the phones, I don't know how. So many people who are more capable of many things more than I am. If say how to construct a cabinet, I don't know. All I know about is spiritual cultivation and Buddha Dharma. That's my concentration in the inner sciences. The rest, I don't know. So the joke is that a scholar could not even build a cabinet, but the maid could, like the plumber, the electrician. I'm really afraid of electricity because I'm afraid to be electrified. So I don't know anything about electricity. Plumbing, I don't know. There's no way I could teach you that. All I could teach you is Buddha Dharma. But Guru Padmasambhava, in order to conveniently deliver sentient beings, he learned everything. Especially in India, Nepal, Kuthapo, among other places, he diligently cultivated meditation and attained the 3 yogas, Mahayoga, Anuyoga, and Ati Yoga. In a gas station, there was a student and that put his chin on his hand, and a man asked him, "What are you thinking about?" "I want to be a president." And then tap on his shoulder. Okay, go for it. And this man said, "Oh, thank you for your encouragement." But in Chinese, 加油, which just means go for it, actually also means add the gas. So like me, you know, I have many disciples, so why don't you go for election? For like a mayor or the county mayor and the city mayor, then all your disciples would vote for you and you would be elected. But this is not something that I want. I'm just a Dharma propagator, a founder of True Buddha School, and all I do is to spread Buddha Dharma teaching. And I don't ask for anything else. Although I have many students, that you can even go for presidency after like several. Are there anybody from Taiwan here? Most Taiwanese don't know because they don't get involved in the election. Like you need to go for a nomination first to be a candidate for presidency. Like, you know, how many people at least have to be nominated. And it will be okay for me because I have many disciples that I would pass at least for the nomination. But Ge Taiming, the richest man of Taiwan, said, and any president would enter into the presidency with black hair and coming out of it with silver hair. Obama had the dark hair when he entered into the presidency, and before the end of the presidency, his hair had turned white. And also Ma Ying-jeou, prior to him entering into the president hall, although with a horse face, and his family name is Ma, meaning horse, but he looked handsome and young. And a lot of people thought he was handsome and cool, but now, at the Independence Day, his mouth was kind of lopsided, and there was eye bags. So that's scary. What happens to you after becoming a president? So Ge Taiming said, there's only a job that we don't want to get into, that's presidency, being a president. So Guru Padmasambhava learned everything. He diligently cultivated meditation and attained the 3 yogas, Mahayoga, Anuyoga, and Ati Yoga. That's Guru Padmasambhava's spiritual cultivation. We have to be making sense. You have to know yourself, that you have to know about yourself, what you can reach. Everybody, when we write about our aspiration in school, everybody said they want to become president. But I said I want to be a teacher. I was afraid of a teacher because the teacher would beat me. If the teacher was about to hit on me, I would. So the exam scores, this score, please stand up. And then I check. Is the son of the PTA, and then I would be next to him. So the teacher would hit the first one, second, third, fourth, and then got to the son of the PTA. And they are the benefactor for the school. And then the teacher said, okay, that's it. I'm tired of hitting you. And then I was next, so I would be spared from beating. So the teacher doesn't dare to hit that child. So I always stand after him. I don't know, I didn't learn a lot of things, but I learned this. A student told the teacher, the taste for beauty during the Tang dynasty and Qing dynasty are different. What are the differences? So from Qing dynasty, it's like Lin Tai Yu. It's like the black jade, that she is so fragile that the horse wouldn't know if she climbed on her back. And the beauty in the Tang dynasty, that when the lady climbed on the horse's back, the horse couldn't stand it anymore, couldn't hold it upright. So as a human being, we should know about ourselves. Are you skinny? Are you fat? Are you just right? Check on yourself. Sometimes we say, so even when you have no mirrors, you can pee and take a look at your face in the pee, which means what you ask for should be based on what you are, whether you deserve it or not. Do you have the capability, the skills to achieve it? Everyone wants to attain Buddhahood, but what are your capabilities? Do you practice enough? Is your meditation enough? Can you really enter into meditation? If you don't even sleep well, how could you enter into meditation? In order to fall asleep, you need to empty your mind. The same for meditation. You need to first empty your mind. So you need to learn to empty your mind first. If you have so many problems inside your brain, then you cannot fall asleep. But if you empty your mind, then you can fall asleep. So that's how to stop your worries and affliction. Most people can sleep well, but when they have the problems, then they cannot fall asleep. So you need to empty your brain first in order to fall asleep. And to learn meditation, you need to know how to empty your mind. Don't be too anxious, don't be too nervous, but don't be too relaxed. If you're too relaxed, then you'll fall asleep. So you should be between relax and tightness. So between awakeness and sleep. So Guru Padmasambhava diligently cultivated meditation and attained the 3 yogas. So you need to measure yourself. You need to know yourself well. In the past, I don't dare to court on ladies. But I cannot say this because she's about to be back. So you need to know yourself what kind of wife you can have, how tall you are, how much you have, how handsome you are. You need to know about yourself in order to strive. So you need to have your look as well as your inner part. So in order to attain Buddhahood, you need to know yourself. How many mantra recitations have you done? Do you know how to meditate? Have you learned all the sadhanas? Have you gained spiritual response with your yidam? If you have spiritual response, then at least you pass the test. Then you have hope that in the future you have passed the test. That in the future, although you don't attain Buddhahood directly, you can still go to the Buddha lands. That's if you have spiritual response. Xiao Ming liked to learn the piano but didn't achieve anything. And then one day he prayed in front of God. God, please make me like a Beethoven, even though a little bit. And then a few days later, he got deaf. He became deaf. Because we know that Beethoven was deaf. He had many concertos. And I visited Vienna. And I heard a symphony, a Beethoven symphony. No, but that was... So here, music knowledge is worse than I'm. So the Vajra Buddha Mother, that's the great self-mastery mother, and Adi Buddha. The Grandmaster was talking about the Ode to Joy, the Symphony No. 9 by Beethoven. And those were all the lineage transmission to Guru Padmasambhava. And I also receive Dharma transmissions or lineage from the formless and from the human gurus. So the 5 Buddha wisdoms, so the mirror-like wisdom, the wisdom of equality, the marvelous observation wisdom, and the wisdom of all accomplishments, the 5 great wisdoms. And he attained the Dharmakaya, the ultimate Dharmakaya, which means he could appear his Dharmakaya. So the Guru Padmasambhava that Grandmaster saw is the Dharmakaya that Guru Padmasambhava showed. And he masterfully comprehended the great perfection Dharma. And this time, in Taiwan, I would transmit the Mahamaya Heruka. And this Mahamaya Heruka is a manifestation of the Adi Buddha. So the manifestation of Adi Buddha, the wrathful manifestation, is called the Great Supreme Heruka or the Mahamaya Heruka. Let me share the last joke. The husband told the wife with confidence, "Look at our son. He's smart and he got first in class. His brain must come from me." And the wife said, "You have such good brain. It's all given. It's all passed to the kid long ago." And the husband was really happy. "So wife, you agree?" "Yes, so because now you have no brain. Because you've passed your good brain to the kid. So he has no brain anymore." When Grandmaster finished transmitting all of Great Perfection Dharma, then Grandmaster would have no brain anymore. I would have forgotten about everything. Om Mani Padme Hum.